Dear Mom and Dad, thank you for giving me life, for raising me to understand what truly makes us happy. Despite the hard work of being a parent, you chose the right path. You chose to give the greatest gift to yourself. Thanks for not being dinks.
What's up, guys? It's your boy Benny. I regret to inform you that some of the most insufferable people on the planet have found themselves an internet trend. DINKS, standing for dual income, no kids, have been making TikTok videos about how vacuous, boring, and pointless their lives are without children as they decide to not procreate. It goes something like this.
We're dinks. We're gonna get asked daily when we plan on having kids.
We're dinks. Of course we're gonna go out to eat every night after work.
We're dinks. We don't
Yeah,
have to ask our
looks
family
like it.
for financial help or to watch our kid when we want to go out.
We're dinks. We're gonna go to Costco and buy all the snacks in bulk that we want.
Yeah, looks like it.
We have disposable income to spend on whatever we would like and don't have to spend on a kid.
No.
We're dinks. I'm gonna go to every football game and play 18 holes whenever I want.
We're dinks. We're gonna get asked to every single family event what we're doing with our life.
Okay, so I mean, it continues. Okay, so again, that's a perfect freeze frame right there. Actually, there you go. We're dinks. We get to buy food and spend our money on us. It was funny is that like an interesting thing about the internet is that these kind of in our modern era, this kind of stuff would be things that you said in the quiet of your own home, in the small hours of the evening, something that you'd be ashamed of, right? Not having children when you're in your 30s and you're working and you're in a what seems to be a monogamous and otherwise healthy relationship. You're choosing not to have children. Maybe that's something that you would just effectively keep to yourself. But in the internet era, these kind of things, what used to be shame in society, what used to cause shame in society, is now supposed to be shouted proudly. Like this.
Trader Joe's and workout classes on the weekends.
We're dinks. We get into snobby hobbies like skiing and golfing.
We're dinks. We can go to Florida on a whim.
Oh, we can golf and we can go to Florida. Nobody with kids has ever golfed or gone to Florida.
We're dinks. We're already planning our European vacation next year.
Dinks. We get a full 8 hours of sleep and sometimes more.
We're dinks. We get desserts and appetizers at restaurants.
We're dinks. We can play with other kids and give them back.
Oh, wow. You're the first people in history that have been able to play with other kids. Don't tell Joe Biden.
We're dinks. We still do it 3 times a week.
We're dinks.
Yeah, but you have nothing to show for it. But at the very least, I have proof that I have a sex life as a father of 3 and maybe more someday.
Spend our discretionary income on $8 lattes.
Oh my God, you get to buy expensive coffee? What? You're just selling this lifestyle. This is crazy. I've never met a mom that doesn't like I've never met a mom that's able to afford expensive coffee. Never seen it. Never gone to Starbucks and seen moms in the drive-through lane. Really rare, really special. You plank of wood.
We're dinks. We max out our 401ks, Roth IRAs, and HSAs.
Yeah, and let me tell you something. When I became a father, I've never been more successful and had more of a drive and made more money than when I became a father. Because when you have, it's amazing what happens biologically. What happens in thousands and thousands of years of something that's hard-coded into your DNA. And I have a lot more to get through in the video, but like it's really important to make this like this single point, especially to young men. Your ancestors hard-coded in your DNA, something that is already inborn in you, is the desire to procreate and provide for that procreation. And that's something you wouldn't be here right now if that wasn't inside of your genetic code. And so the reason that you're here is that instinct. And when you kick that instinct into overdrive, when you actually start having kids, you're going to supermax your capacity. These people saying, oh, we have some excess capital. We have some extra money lying around. First off, kids are not that expensive. Kids don't cost you that much in the near term. They do cost you a lot in the long term when you're old and when you have no one and when your life is purposelessness and when you die alone. That's when it actually costs you. But enjoy your $8 coffee, I guess.
We're dinks. We don't use our kids or dog as an excuse to leave a party. We just leave.
Whoa, that's so funny. You leave a party. You've never seen a parent leave a party before, then just leave. What an incredible selling of your lifestyle. By the way, it goes on.
We're dinks. We're going to be asked constantly by family, friends, and strangers when we're going to have kids.
We're dinks. We're going to go to Costco and buy all the snacks we want.
We're dinks. We're going to support our friends who have kids, even if we decide to never have any.
We're dinks. We're going to have... We're dinks. We're going to have lots of... We're dinks. We're going to have lots of disposable income to spend on whatever we like.
So let me tell you what, you clearly don't have lots of because you don't have any kids. You know what I mean?
We're dinks. We're going to get chastised by people on the internet because they're going to assume that we're just obsessed with material things, even though arguably you need a lot more material things once you have kids.
We're dinks. We don't need...
Do you really, though? Again, you don't have to shove your kid's life full of every single iPad and every single toy on Earth. Like, it actually is better to have low-key parenting. Some wooden blocks, some toys that get kept in a cabinet. Kids do not have to be prohibitively expensive. I think you're doing parenting wrong when you do that. And you don't have to shove your kids full of every toy in the universe. In fact, it's very good when kids don't get the toys they want. That's the way life works, you see. But I mean, just speaking from experience here, wouldn't want to insult a dink.
To find a sitter or rope our family into babysitting when we want to go out for the night.
We're dinks. We're going to be told the only way that we'll ever be fulfilled in life is by having kids.
We're dinks. We're going to book flights whenever we feel like it.
Yes! I mean, the answer is yes. That is a way to be fulfilled in life. Again, there are always reasons, like from back in ancient times, right? Like Abraham. Like back in ancient times, like there are people who couldn't conceive. Like that's been a part of the glitch or just the coding in human beings. Some people can't conceive. Some people can't have kids. I'm not doing this to dunk on those people. If you are able-bodied and you're deciding not to have kids, or you get like a vasectomy or whatever, like what I'm saying is you're defying your own DNA. You're defying your own instinct and ancestry that's hard-coded into you. I'm not trying to like dunk on or hurt or rub salt in the wound for people that literally biologically can't conceive. Okay? So when the lady says we're going to have a purposeless life, well, what else is there to live for? All you're telling me is like basic consumerism is what you have to live for. We want to drink lattes. I want to go to a football game. If that's what your life boils down to, you're going to have a miserable life.
Thanks. We're still going to stick to a strict budget to meet our financial goals, no matter how much wiggle room we have in our finances.
We're dinks. We're not going to make a life-altering choice just because everybody else is doing it.
Period.
What? Okay, so in case this is getting a little confusing for you, just again, it is confusing. Why would people be bragging about this? And also, it gets worse.
Most of you watching this right now are sinks. You're single income, no kids. If you're living with a significant other, you're a dink, double income, no kids. If you want kids in the future, you're a sinky or a dinky, double incomes, no kids yet. One of my favorites is the dink wad, double income, no kids with a dog. Similarly, the dink wah, double incomes, no kids with a house. Now, because of the math, if you're a dink, that automatically makes your parents podwogs, parents of dinks without grandkids. And if you're a dink wad, that makes your parents podwads, parents of dinks with a dog. Oh, and if you're a one income, no kids, and you're living on a farm, that makes you an oink.
They're just trolling at this point. So these are some of the other clips that have been ping pong balling around the internet. Saturday morning vlog as a dink couple. So they cook themselves breakfast in their gray, sanitized apartment. They work. They get ready to go to Trader Joe's in their gray, plastic, sanitized apartment. They get coffee alone. They go shopping alone. They buy groceries alone. They don't speak to each other. There's no spark. There's no love. There's no randomness. There's no excitement. They sit by their plastic Christmas tree alone and just slob out on the couch. Again, y'all are making like a really, really great argument for parenthood. It's like it's seeing how sad and miserable your lives are. And now you're upset that people are making fun of you for how sad and miserable your life are. Dink couple face furious backlash after boasting about the perks of their child-free lifestyle. Really? They have really perks? Branded sad losers by critics. Kellyanne and her husband, Evan, from Utah, are in a dink relationship. And the couple has dual income, no kids. They went viral on TikTok for bragging about their infant-free lifestyle. Oh, look at them. Oh, very upset. We're angry. Evan and I watching you guys blow up a comment section over some lighthearted joke. Okay. Yeah. Good job. I mean, listen, got to tell you, this picture says so much, really. This photo says so much about so much as to why they may not have children. Just saying. Just saying. Viral clip, which so far has amassed 3.2 million, captioned "Living the Best Life, Dink Life." Now they're upset, these two, that why don't you have children? I wonder, man. They're upset that people are making jokes. One person said, weird flex. Another said, it's weird that they list the things that they can literally do while having kids. Jerks. Y'all sound like losers didn't get invited to the party and act like they don't want to go. Y'all can still do all that with kids. Sad, poor life. Mm-hmm. It seems like such a sad lifestyle. Yeah, it does. So now they're upset. Now they're angry. According to Pew Research Center, 2021 found that 44% of non-parents aged 18 to 49 said they were not at all likely or not too likely to ever have children. That's up 7%. Goodness gracious. Elon Musk is right. The collapse of humanity is really, really the problem here. Some of the commentary on the internet has been hysterical. The original dinks, if you know, you know. Christmas Vacations, perfect. There are going to be a lot of dinks in their 50s and 80s that are going to be regret this strategy. We're dinks. We built a subterranean network of tunnels and hermetically sealed chambers that can sustain us for 3 years in the event of a civil war in World War III. Good for you. Tim Pool going in. We're dinks. We're going to die alone and no one will care about us. Are you confused by the dinks and sinks? There's other new words to describe things. Yeah, good. Nothing sums up the fall of Western civilization like the trend of dinks. Double income, no kids is an appealing strategy, but a strategy that is destined to fail. For our civilization to survive, it requires the able-bodied folks like these guys to take care of and learn from their elders while preparing for the next generation for their spot. As they get old, the next generation will learn from them and help to take care of them as they get older. If there's no younger generation, the system breaks. I'm not sure why there's a complicated strategy to understand. That's exactly right. Who do you think is going to take care of you? Your dinks, absolutely no one will give an S about you when you get old. Elon Musk responding. Interesting. There is an awful morality to those who deliberately have no kids. They are effectively demanding that other people's kids take care of them in their old age. It's messed up. It's true. This comment is great. It's okay if you don't want kids, but every single one of these videos features boring Reddit couples bragging about the most banal, frivolous, and superficial uses of one's own time, talent, and money. I'll tell you a secret. If your life looks like you're bragging about the ability to afford $8 lattes because you have nothing else going on, then you're either depressed or on your way to depression. Don't want kids? No problem. Do something else grand, epic, Herculean. I mean, you have the time, right? You have the money. What else is the point of living? Nice stuff, and then death is the foundation upon which hedonism, followed by nihilism, are built. You aren't intended to simply pay taxes and die. This is ultimately my issue with the whole dink trend, right? So the flex is that we have a bunch of time and a bunch of money on our hands. But what are you doing with that time and money? They don't say anything. They're not saying we're not researching cancer or building bridges or digging wells or literally anything productive for society. It's I am going to in a masturbatory way spend everything on myself. I get to go on a trip. I get to go skiing. I get to have a latte. I get to go to Costco and buy my food for me. Dude, you do realize you're going to die alone. None of that stuff's going to matter. The money's not going to smile back at you. And your bags of snacks from Costco's, looks like you already need to cut back on those. Okay? That's not good for you. It's not healthy for you. You're not making good decisions. This trend is bad trend. Now, Elon Musk called it out And one of my favorite boys, Andrew Tate, also called it out in a clip that is now going newly viral based on this trend. Check it out.
A life without children is vapious, and it's inane, and it's pointless. And you may sit here and think that your career matters, but the truth is that your job will fire you at a whim and not give don't give a solitary shit. And when you're 52 and you're past it with no grandchildren in a house by yourself, and all your friends have grandchildren in this beautiful life, and you're sitting there by yourself, do you think the fact that you can afford a few extra Gucci bags is going to genuinely make you feel happy? I was at my grandmother's 93rd birthday. I looked there. My grandmother had 9 children because there was my father and 8 more. They all had a bunch of kids, blah, blah, blah. I stood there and I looked at my 93-year-old grandmother, and there was a whole room full with maybe 70 people that came from that one woman. Isn't that remarkable? Yeah, that nobody cared about her career. Nobody asked what job she did. Nobody asked how many times she went to the club. Nobody asked if she had time to go to festivals. No, you had 70 sentient beings, including myself, full of life from one woman who dedicated herself to being a mother and a good wife. That is beautiful. And if you sit here and genuinely think that you're going to work your ass off through your fertile years, and by the age of 54, you're not going to be suicidal alone with a cat, then you're dumb.